for once, a manager was like, look, to be honest, I'm quite busy. I haven't seen them yet. That's what you want, rather than the like, oh yeah, same shit every interview. Like,
I mean the historic Roma. What can I say about such a magnificent history and heritage? Did you have watched some Players game? No, I've watched. They always do that. They give that shit chat of like they always do that for when they ask a manager. So what do you think of this current Irish team? Oh well, they play hard and they work hard when they're on the football pitch, and we know it'll be a tough game. It's like you have no idea who we're talking about.
It's us talking about Guztep is the very same.
No, that's you talking Guztep. I watch the games.
That's true.
You haven't bought in at all to this because it's my baby, so I watch the game. I was watching Trappensport this week. Oh my god. They were playing Trappensport and it was 1-1 and 2 red cards. It was unbelievable game.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. Nonsense. Talking nonsense. Why should we accept somebody talking nonsense? Like, what would you say? Just why are you talking nonsense about us? Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Cathal and Will. We're back again for a European Champions League football special, as we do this time of week. The games are getting shorter, Will. No, they're not. The week's getting there's less. Yeah, maybe I should. I would. Forget it. I'll leave it in. Leave it all in. Let the people see the real me. You know, this is the person that Will has to deal with every week, folks. No, there's less games. We're at the semi-final stage, which means no watching 3 or 4 games at once.
Thank God.
Through red buttons and laptops and trying to, essentially watching no games and just have to watch the highlights afterwards because you missed the whole thing. You can sit down over Tuesday night and enjoy some top European football between the two romantic clubs of Real Madrid and yeah. Did you watch the game on Tuesday, Will?
I did. I watched both games.
And how do you look yourself in the mirror? You sleep at night. You hypocrite. No, I'm lampooning you, Will. I'm lampooning you. But I did kind of feel like after the hysterics of last week, and hey, look, it was great for the podcasting game. We got a lot of views in those last 2 episodes. We're not going to sit here and say we haven't profited from this scandal.
But we haven't.
Well, we haven't not profited in the money sense, but in the
brain sense.
In the brain sense, in the numbers sense, in the cold hard numbers. We had a lot of downloads, a lot of views. But we were kind of saying, oh, it's so bad. And these clubs, like, fuck these owners, man. These are just, the clubs are just shells of what.
But what time is the game on?
Yeah.
I did find it harder to care, though, than I usually would. I definitely wasn't as invested.
Were you able to park your kind of like, this is Florentino Perez, who is president for life. This is his club. If they win the Champions League again, he's going to be.
Well, that's.
Soaking it up.
I was thinking that, but I was also thinking, I hope Real Madrid win this. I can't wait to hear that interview.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, I was watching. I thought, it's like when you see, like it's just hard to park your kind of. I have objections against this on a moral thing, and then I still buy the clothes from pennies or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I know it's wrong, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Well,
it's like
easy.
Maybe I should, which is fine for normal people. If we're going to be sitting over here kind of talking shit about it, and then we watch the games and then report on it, I don't know. I struggled a bit for it morally for about 5 minutes. It's my point. But I think it's okay. I think you can still like want things to change, but then also.
Well, it's that thing. No? It's not the players and teams' faults that they're fucking billionaires are evil. Like,
yeah,
the players didn't want the Super League and all that crack. So, yes, you just kind of have to look at it that way. But
yeah. So for anybody who was struggling, don't worry, we have absolved you of any guilt, and you're free to watch the next second leg.
We have allowed it.
Yeah, don't worry. We've given our blessing to everybody. You can be mad about the owners and the ESL and the intrinsic unfairness in professional football, and also, tuning in to see Modric still doing this stuff at 36 years of age.
He's so good.
But yeah, so the first game on Tuesday that we begrudgingly watched, Real Madrid versus Chelsea. 63, Will.
63?
Do you know what that number represents?
No.
That's the average days a year it rains in Madrid. Which is just under a sixth. And I watched this game and also watched the Classico that people may remember from a few weeks ago. Also, piss and rain. Yeah. It's like... So where is this training ground? Is this like way outside Madrid, or is it like still in the general area? Like
in the mountains?
It was bucketing down. I couldn't believe it. It was kind of a nasty night here, but I was like, at least we're not in Madrid. It looks awful there. And it made for a good game in the first half because the ball was like being overhit. There was passes not going to the right place. Very open game. And then the second half went, all right, we got to fucking keep it tight. And the game kind of became quite shit. Chelsea were all over them at the start. I thought, oh no, I backed Madrid and here we go. I'm going to be like it. Because the worst thing is when you back Real Madrid, if I say Real Madrid are pretty good, they could win it. You get no credit because obviously it's Real Madrid.
But if
they don't, what you think it is? What game are you watching? They're old. I was like, this is a lose-lose and I'm about to lose. Chelsea were streaming down Marcelo's side. He hasn't played for a long time all year.
See, he's not playing the next leg because
I did see that. Yeah,
he has to do it's like a jury duty or something. What is it? Or polling station?
Yeah, I'm not exactly how things work in Madrid or in Spain, I should say. In terms of like election and stuff, but he's been called up to work the ballot boxes in Spain.
That's mad.
I imagine it must be some kind of jury duty type thing.
But surely he's too famous for that, and he's just going to be getting hassled on the day.
Well, you think he could get some kind of special allowance, because it's not like, for obviously every job has time constraints, but like this has only happened today on the one day. So I'm sure you could get some kind of, like it was a surgeon. Gets called up to jury duty. It's like there's an open heart surgery that day. I can't push it
too
back.
Bad, bud.
You have to stand in the town hall counting votes all day. I don't know. Again, I don't want to talk about something I don't nothing about, but it's like Jesus. How has this never happened before?
Yeah.
How is this
not a weekly occurrence to all footballers in Spain?
But who knows? Maybe he'll get over it. Yes, I don't know. But maybe for the best because he looked every inch the 33 years of age he was. Not like Benzema, who looked like a good 33-year-old. I mean, Marcelo, they were going. Pulisic and Timo Werner were streaming on that side. They're playing in like a back three.
Yeah,
and Marcelo was a wing back. Now Marcelo's never been the best defensively. I wouldn't say he's been in the mold of like Roberto Carlos or Cafu, that kind of a Brazilian fullback. But he looked exhausted. I mean, he was good on the pitch, but he looked absolutely gassed in that first half that he could not run anymore. And only for Timo Werner not scoring. That game could have been over in the first 10 minutes.
Oh, Werner did not have the best of times. Our poor boy.
I mean, I was joking. I tweeted from the account. I was like, "Hey, 2 shots on target. That's the good start as Timo can expect." Like the ball came in, and I think Mason Mount had a shot deflected, and then Pulisic, perfect cushion header onto Timo, like right in the middle of the goal, just ahead of the penalty spot. Just kick it in. Just tap it in. And he didn't fluff it. He hit it, but like he hit like just right of Courtois
off to the side.
Like Courtois was like 6'6". Like he's he's big, but like he didn't put it right in the corner. It was just he needs to score that one.
Yeah,
he really needs to score that one. But then right afterwards, he took another shot on target, got another shot, and goes, "All right, there you go.
That's more like it."
I mean, you remember all the best shooters, they like even Salah this year. Did you see that interview after I think the FA Cup game? Or maybe it was after the West Ham game, which scored that unbelievable goal.
Mm-hmm.
And the interviewer asked him, he was like, "Yeah, you're going through like a bad spell now. You taking my shots and not scoring. And I mean, this is probably good to get that monk off your back." And he goes, "Yeah, well, there was a goal I scored that was disallowed by VAR, so that kind of counts. And I scored again today. So I mean, I don't think that really matters." Now, I think it might have been like lost in translation of the interview, but like my takeaway was like he doesn't remember them.
Yeah,
he just keeps shooting. So I was like, that's what team needs to do. Don't think of the misses. Keep shooting. But he really should have scored that.
Yeah.
The goal they did score was you saw that was a bizarre goal because Rudiger kind of like flicked it over.
Yeah, it just seems like lately, like in the City game as well, goals are just gone weird altogether. It's just things just happen. It's rarely like it's like, oh wow, what a brilliant piece of play. It's like the ball ping pongs around the pitch and ends up in the goal, and everyone goes, "What happened?"
Rudiger, like, he had a great game. He was really kind of ball playing centre back that I didn't think he had in his locker, to be honest. From some of the games I've seen him play this year, but he scooped it over like the entire Madrid defense, and it was one of those ones where Pulisic was so far behind the defense, like, offside. And the defenders were like, "Oh yeah, must be offside. There's no way he got to there from there legally. There's no way." And they kind of like drifted back slowly, like, "Oh, I think he's onside actually." Like he missed control of the first one.
Yeah.
And then the defenders were like, "Oh fuck, the flags are up." They ran back behind Courtois, leaving Courtois 1-on-1. So by the time Pulisic got his second touch and looked up and saw Timo Werner there and said, "I already passed it to you."
You're
not making that mistake again. But
Timo Werner is like running and he's like, no, not
so the defenders were like caught, like, oh shit, what to do? They ran instinctively back towards the line. The two of them standing on the line like bowling pins. Courtois comes out. Again, he's a 6'6" dude. He's not the most nimble. Pussy just rounds him and then kicks it in between the two defenders, still standing there like, oh, have we made a mistake?
I didn't think he was going to go around him.
It was awful defending. I was like, oh no, this is going to be awful. This is where this Real Madrid team gets found out.
Yeah.
And the goal they scored,
Real
Madrid scored, was kind of against run of play. Like Chelsea had loads of chances. Timo, you would say it's confidence, but like some of the balls they were running down. Pulisic had it, or Mason Mount had it, and Timo was like, look at them, like, pass it to me, and they were like waiting for him to make a run before they passed it. So then it was like they do the pass, and then Timo Werner runs.
Yeah,
because the ground was so wet. It's like you never want to get there. You have to make the run a yard before the offside. You can't run right kick us.
Maybe he just has because he is rapid, so maybe that just worked before, like in the Bundesliga, maybe where he could give it the extra second and then catch up to it. But yeah, I don't know.
Perhaps because I just thought like whenever the finishing that can be confident, or like he's not playing well. He's not making the right runs here.
Yeah.
Especially when Real Madrid were pressing very high, and Kante was unbelievable. Kante and Jorginho were beating that press all day long, getting loads of chances, and it was never going to last. Real Madrid always going to say, "Okay, we should stop doing that because they'll score one of these." Like I said, the Madrid goal came from a corner. They put on a little bit of pressure. They got a corner out of it. A real training ground move. I don't know what Chelsea were doing because Cruz on the corner, he passes to Modric.
They all
then he passes to Marcelo. It's like somebody go and stop the kick. Like pass. He kicks the far post, and then the other midfielders, like I don't know where Chelsea midfield was for this. I don't know why Kante and Jorginho are trying to get headers in the box. They should be pressing the midfielders. Casemiro gets the header, back cross off Militao, and then Benzema. Oh my god!
Unbelievable finish.
To control that ball with your head and then falling backwards, readjust in midair, and then
insane.
Lash it in. It was unbelievable.
You would say though,
world, isn't he?
Yeah, but you would say he definitely shouldn't be able to control the ball with his head and then turn and then bicycle in the box. Someone should be stopping him.
Yeah, Mendy. I think you're one of those ones where the ball had gone past him before he. I think like literally like in a physics sense, he kicked it so hard. The ball was like, fuck, something with a basket.
Where did it go?
I think with the ball.
Did he hit that into space?
And then he ran like cheering to Ramos in the crowd. He was like, get back, get another one.
Is Ramos back for the final? I wonder.
I thought he had COVID. I read.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Weird he's in the stadium if he has COVID.
He was hugging the players before the game, geeing them up. I was like, all right, well, it mustn't have been serious COVID then, or maybe he doesn't care and nobody can tell Ramos what to do anymore. But yeah, after that, the game kind of, both of them at halftime, like, all right, these guys can score. Let's not do anything rash here and give them chances to score.
Real Madrid are really good.
Yeah. It was a tough night for both, I think, Benzema and Timo Werner. I mean, it's a thankless job doing that lone striker in that rain.
Yeah.
You know, especially for Werner when your teammates won't pass you because they don't think you can score. You're literally just hold up play. That's all you're going to be asked to do. No one's going to pass you anymore. I can't remember like many clear-cut chances in that second half. Like there was
the
wasn't
first
like,
half was better. Yeah.
Like save that, like, oh, what a save by Mendy or that. Like it was kind of possession second half. I think both of them, in a weird way, were like happy to get a draw.
Yeah. 1-1 is fine.
Like from a Chelsea perspective, you'd say, 1-1, an away goal, pretty
perfect,
good. But in the more wider sense, I think they should have got 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like that game should have been like,
should have been
Real
gone,
Madrid should be going
finished.
to, it should be finished. Real Madrid should be going to Stamford Bridge saying, right, we have to score 2 in the first 20 minutes or else this game is over.
Yeah.
Whereas now, Real Madrid can go there, they get the first goal.
It's chaos. Chelsea seem good though. They don't really seem to collapse at all. Like since Tuchel's come in, like they're really good at seeing out stuff.
They are solid, but I think if they go about that the next day in Stamford Bridge, like, all right, stay solid, keep it tight. We don't need to score; they do, and then Real Madrid do score because they have serious players like Vinicius and Asensio hadn't the best game. He came on. They do have the ability to hit a screamer that kind of circumvents any defense. So I think Chelsea would then rely on Timo Werner or someone else to get a goal. Like that goal they scored was a bizarre goal. Like it wasn't like a passing, well worked goal. It was a bit of individual brilliance from Pulisic. So I know. I think I'd be back in Real Madrid to go through on this, especially if they have Ramos back for the next game and Ferland Mendy for them, so they can switch to a back 4. I think they'd be much more solid that way.
Yeah,
they're missing a lot of players. They're missing Valverde as well.
Someone else got injured as well. Carvajal is out for the rest of the season. That's who it was.
Oh, fuck.
So it was a big player for them. Bigger player than I'd remembered.
And Vasquez is still out as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been really hit by injuries.
Yeah. But like they're really high up in the league. The league, do you see the top 4 in Spain?
Yeah, I was about to say it's made for a really exciting La Liga.
It's like 3 points, I think. Yeah, 3 points between first and fourth, I think.
Yeah, unbelievable. But the story that wasn't was the Hazard return.
You could have, we could have predicted that. Like,
there's a little bit of like people wanting that story to happen. I was like, he hasn't played for a long time.
Yeah, he's barely kicked the ball.
Features.
Yeah.
But he did. He came on and he didn't do much. But like again, that was the game. It was the rain. It was a very cagey second half. No one wanted to give any easy chances. So
he's back from his 10th injury. It feels like without kicking a ball. So he's not going to be flying it like.
Not that he cared. I don't think. I mean,
well, we know he's a super chill guy.
Back to our super chill bro of the week. Eden Hazard gave a great interview afterwards. I mean, we'll just play the clip.
It could be worse and it could be better. So I think we have a second leg to play over there. Now we have to think about the weekend game against Osasuna, try to take 3 points, and then we have to go there to try to win the game.
What was your feeling towards this match? Because you played the last 25, 30 minutes. What was your physical feeling? Because you just coming from an injury.
Yeah, I think I just want to go step by step, Of course, I want to play. I want to be on the pitch, but, last game I play, I think, 15 minutes. Today I play a bit more. So we have a couple of good games to play till the end of the season. So I just want to be ready for them. Now I feel better, condition better and the body is better. So I'm just happy that I can play again.
Did you feel something special tonight because you were playing against a team that I believe it's close to your heart?
Yeah, it's always good to play against friends, I have a couple of friends over there. But, now I'm a Real Madrid player, so I just want to win. Doesn't matter if it's Chelsea against us or another team, I just want to win. But, yeah, it's always good to see some good face,
This was a match where Real Madrid played with 3 centre backs. Is this something to maintain for the second leg in Stamford Bridge? What do you think Real Madrid has to do to change the result?
You need to ask the manager. He's the manager who put us on the team, so we play already this kind of team sheet, and we know to do it. So, but we can also play with 4 at the back. So it just depends on the manager, and we will try to do everything our best.
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Gracias. That's like me on holidays. To every waitress that comes by, gracias. Nailed it.
Why are you asking Hazard about the back 3? Like, he gives a shit.
But like, he's like, yeah, we got some good games coming up. You have a league running, and you have a Champions League semi-final today. Like, he doesn't sound like a man under pressure. Like, all the stuff in the papers, like 100 million, and he's not playing. And he's a big flop, and Perez is worst signing. He's like, hey, it could be worse, could be better. It's like,
I think last week I played 15 minutes. I don't know. This week 20. It's fine. It's all good.
He's definitely like tracking his minutes or like his improvement. He's like, yeah, I played a bit there, a bit here, He sounded like someone at a preseason game. Yeah. Like, body's feeling good. It's like, this is the most important part of the season. This is the running, and we're looking to you to try and like, let's see.
It's good to play friends.
Yeah, some good face. That's what I say people are like, I could see some good face every now and again. You know what I mean?
Wink and the click and the grassy ass is so funny.
Oh, it's so Hazard. It's so Hazard. I love that dude, man. Honest to God.
He's a legend.
But yeah. So maybe he'd be in the second, like he might be the one to turn it around, and if he gets a bit of running games.
Fucking love that. I hope he does that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the game on Tuesday. The Real Madrid and Chelsea. I would predict Real Madrid to go through in that one.
Guarantee.
No, I wouldn't guarantee it. I think Chelsea will think initially that was a good game, good result, but when they go back over the tape and they awkwardly watch Timo Werner miss again, and everyone like looks down on the floor, and they go, "Fucking hell, we should have won that game. We should have fucking put that game to bed." And Real Madrid, the opposite, go, "Man, we were under pressure at the start," and they go, "Yeah, but we put the clamps on them. Like, we didn't score much after that. In fact,
they're going to watch. They're going to see the same clips at the exact same time Chelsea are watching them, and when they see Werner miss, they're going to be like, they're never going to score again."
Yeah. I think now I don't know if they do all big team meetings of video. Maybe it's the strikers and the defenders in different rooms. I don't know, but I'd imagine
they're all making fun of Timo Werner in different times.
I like to imagine it's like that scene in The Office where Michael brings them into the conference room and they watch. That's what I like to imagine the Real Madrid training ground would be like. But I think I'll be back in Real Madrid. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. But it's been since Tuchel's come in. It's that whole thing of Chelsea just keep winning. It's very, I don't know. It's still hard to tell how good they are. Like. Because they're flying it every time. Like, there's no way you would have thought that team would be Champions League still in it against Real Madrid in the semi-final. But they just always find a way.
Well, I think they're very good. I think it's just that final pass, the final ball, and if it is Timo or even if it's Giroud, I think at this level you just don't get me chances. Like you see last time finals can be terrible games.
Yeah,
like
finals are usually
chances
bad.
Each.
Yeah.
So you have someone who can't take easy chances. You mightn't get any easy chance. You might get one half chance. And that might be it. So,
and we're joking about it as well. But I wonder, does that come into play of Pulisic can shoot or he can square it to Werner, and he's thinking, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then it's like a split second lost, and then
no, that's what I mean. I think Chelsea just lacked that little bit where it could change the game for them. But
pretty damning for Frank Lampard, isn't it? How good they are. Like, he could barely get a fucking draw with them for months and was throwing them all under the bus every week.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying about Jose Mourinho, it's the one season you really can't afford to lose players, because the games are coming so. Yeah, there's so many games and there's tough games. Like, you just need to use everyone in your squad. Like, there's a real man management, a test of man management. I think that's probably why Solskjaer has done well.
Yeah, he's excellent.
Maybe tactically it's not not the most astute, but I mean, in terms of getting players on side, this was the year to do that. And
he's really good at that.
Mourinho style of blaming people. And
I mean, Pogba, remember in January, he was like, I want out of here. It was like interviews galore being like, let me out of this fucking club. And then Ollie just started him in every game. And he must have just talked to him and gotten it through. He's like, if you play well, more teams will want to buy you. If that was Jose, he's like, you're never. I don't want to see your face ever again.
Yeah, so I think that's probably part of it as well. But yeah, we'll see, I suppose. But it was a good game. It was a derby game in the first half, anyways.
Your audio is kind of a bit weird there.
Oh no!
Oh, it's fixed. Never mind. It might have just been the internet.
Yeah, our monitor is on the fritz now for a whole week. It's been really, really bad.
Nah, it's grand there now, anyway.
Sweet. The other game then, the Wednesday game, City PSG. I think the game people are expecting to be a bit better.
It was fun though. It was the second half when things started collapsing was very fun.
Oh man! I mean, we'll start with. I mean, the first half was amazing. Really, it was a complete reversal of the Carabao Cup final for City. It must have felt like Bizarro world. Like, this is what we do to teams. Like, PSG were relentless in their press. They had Verratti back, Marco Verratti back, which should give you a foothold against pretty much anything. He's
so good.
They had Paredes as well. Am I saying that right? Look, Paredes. And just a gay, formerly of Everton. So, I mean, you look at midfield, you know what they're going to do. They're not going to wait for the game to come to them.
Yeah. And then they're going to bring on Ander Herrera, who also, you know what he's going to do.
Yeah. And they really put, like, they didn't dominate City. I'm trying to be a bit unfair. They didn't dominate City in the way that City did to Tottenham, but they didn't let City get into the game at all. Like, if you watch them, the way they play, they like to pass around, like to, find the gaps in your defense and exploit it. And it's the same way the Bayern Munich team used to beat Barcelona. Like, do not let them, get passes again. Don't let them get comfortable and ease into the game. And City had no answer for it, really. Like, they shared possession a little bit, PSG. I think there was like 53 to 40. It was like something around that. But they didn't create many chances when they had the ball, City. That was the problem. Whereas when PSG had it, they created a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Now, they did score from a set piece, which you say, well,
what can you do?
What can you do with that? It's not really about possession, but City did well enough at times beating the press, but PSG really had them under pressure. And then when that goal went in, it was on the back of like a run, a lot of pressure. Like, City were hanging on. Sustained pressure. City were hanging on for that. And then Di Maria put in an unbelievable ball onto the head of Marquinhos, who scores loads of goals.
Yeah,
I think he's the first player to score in both legs of the quarterfinals and semi-finals. Like, he had some ridiculous scoring record for a centre back.
Yeah.
And they had Gunnigan on him. Who decided, like, he won't score.
I might be wrong, but I think he's kind of short and he seems kind of weak. Like, that's not his game. I'm sure if you knew him, he's probably not the case. He's probably very strong, but
they had 6'3" John Stones on Verratti. Like, that was the mix up there, and he just let him run. He gave him a free run at it. He ran past Rodri. He was like, "Oh fuck, who's marking him?" And then knocked in the goal, and was like, "Oh yeah, PSG are going to walk this." PSG are just a
here it is.
Team, like,
it's the yearly set, like, quarterfinal, semi-final collapse for City.
And PSG are good. Like, we mentioned the midfield, but like Neymar, Mbappe, and Di Maria were all getting back, winning the ball back, putting the midfield under pressure. Like, City were just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, this is unbelievable pressure. And then they went at the halftime 1-0 up, and I couldn't see a way back for City, to be honest. I was watching the Virgin halftime stuff, and Brian Kerr was having a go at City's win, the Carabao Cup. He was now like going, that wasn't a good win. He was like, yeah, I heard a lot of this kind of spoofology after the game about how good City were. Like, didn't create any chance. They got one goal for set piece.
Spoofology.
And like, everyone was like, yeah, City are fucking spoofer. I mean, I was waiting for the fraudiolas.
Ball fraud.
And I saw people saying because Phil Foden had a great chance that first half that the ball came across to him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Took a touch, and he's like, "I'm going to put my foot through this. I don't want to pass it through his hands." And then he ended up hitting it kind of right at the keeper.
Yeah.
So I saw people saying on Twitter, maybe now deleted tweets, calling him Phil Foden, Faux.
Oh, that's shy, isn't it?
And Phil Frauden, and I was like, damn, like
That's
when you know you're a big club, when people start making shit puns about you being a fraud.
Yeah. Do you think he's the youngest ever fraud?
Like that's when you're a big club, when people start get that pressed over fucking you playing a game that we're going to make up shit nicknames about you. I remember seeing people are calling Fabianski Flapianski, which he still does to this day. He still has a howler every other week in the Premier League. I was like, oh God. Can you think of any United ones that people used to call?
I don't know. I'm blanking on
your
it.
head.
I don't know. None that were good enough to remember.
No. I remember the old Yahoo Facebook fantasy football we used to play.
Yeah.
On Facebook, and there was like a comment section there, and that was wild at the best times because it was that
unmoderated.
That corner of internet history where like everyone was on it, but not. I don't mean everyone's in your mother, your parents, your employer.
No, everyone young was on it, and there was no rules or mental health issues.
Completely unmoderated, and that was completely wild. But then also, I think there was some kind of tie-in with Eurosport on that.
I think so, yeah. That sounds familiar.
It was like the news feed was like Eurosport news. Again, I don't know how this unsophisticated algorithm had put Eurosport in a Yahoo fantasy football site, but that was the internet back then. Yeah. And that's how I started getting all my news on Eurosport. And that had like a comment section, and now removed comment section because that was full of those people who got increasingly pressed over football issues. And I remember one seeing under there's like comments under the articles, and it was like about Louis van Gaal back in the day, and someone was calling Louis van Girl. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, that was at the level of a football fan that was like commenting on Eurosport articles back in like 2013, 2014. I was like, oh my God. And then it became very kind of homophobic and racist in the Twitter. But the funny kind of almost like naive side of like calling him Louis van Girl because girls are bad at football. It's like, oh my God. And I saw that Phil Foden brought me back to my
simpler
youth.
times.
Simpler
times where fantasy football had a live pricing where it seemed like prices would jump up like 2 million as soon as someone scored. You had to buy them right then or they were gone.
Oh, genuinely, I'd be checking it in the computer room before lunch, and then I'd go home after school, and I'd see that he'd gone up by 0.5. I go, buy. That was the best.
It was very much a market simulator more than anything else.
Yeah, it was basically the fucking the Reddit bets or whatever, Wall Street bets before Wall Street bets, really. But yeah, it wasn't to be for those dorks on the internet who wanted to call him Phil Foden or Phil Frauden or Ball Fraud. City came out in the second half. This is what I saw. This is what I thought. That PSG pressed very high and very well in the first half. And City beat the press a lot of time. That Foden chance was from intercepting a pass.
Yeah.
But when they did get it, they kept like putting the ball across for a striker. And then all the midfielders would like drop back for the cutback. Yeah. And people are like, these guys don't know what they're doing. They're creating chances, but like not actually creating chances. Like they're creating opportunities, but like, they're not going to finish anything.
Yeah.
So the second half, they said, right, let's not go crazy here. Let's sit back, wait for them to make a mistake, and we let Mbappe and Neymar out their breaks. We get 2-0, 3-0, the game be done. I think that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
They didn't rate City's ability to get a goal.
Well, they had no striker.
They had no striker, and they weren't creating many chances. And the goal they got, I don't care what Niall Quinn says, was fluky. It was a fluky goal. Yeah. You see that happen sometimes, and every time it's described as a fluky, fortuitous goal. He was not going for a shot. He was putting into a dangerous area.
It was a great ball.
There was no striker.
It was a great ball in, but why? I don't know. Why was there no defenders there at all to just bounce and then Navas just watched it roll in.
I guess they were marking the players, and the players weren't anywhere near the ball. So, they're like, no, I got stones. I got.
They're all waiting
Gundogan.
for the cutback.
Yeah, they're all waiting for the cutback, and the ball, and as Navas was like waiting for someone. Shouldn't someone be heading right now? And then the ball bounced. Oh my God. And I think, like, if PSG, if they had been like coming close with chances and like stinging the gloves of Keylor Navas, they might have gone, all right, we got to up the press again. But because it's kind of out of the blue, it was like, oh shit, now they're back in the game. Now the game's changed.
Then they started to freak out. Like immediately.
And to be fair to the City, like, they were better in the second half too. They did come out
definitely.
and they gave it a go and said, right, we have to score. You know, we can't sit back and wait for them to catch on the counter. I guess they probably predict that too. So they were better. But the second goal they got there wasn't a chance to create either. It was a free kick.
Now, went through the wall.
Yeah, I think they moved Foden more centrally in the second half, and he was a lot more effective. And he won that free.
Yeah.
But the free kick, I mean, they had all the things you said. They had plenty of men on the wall. Had Verratti lying down the back, waiting to get his kidneys stung if the ball went underneath.
How embarrassing is it to score a free kick through the wall and then someone is like planking on the ground? You'd hate to be him.
Well, they had a great replay of it where he was like lying on the ground and then he could feel them moving. I get up and he just looks at me, sees the ball going into goal. He's like, what am I doing? Jeez, how do they score that?
They should stack up the players behind the wall, lying on top of each other.
Yeah, just make a human pyramid of players to just barricade the goal. I mean, and the worst thing is, it was Paradise, the tough man of the first half, who was putting in tackles like nobody's business, and the centre back Kipembe. But Jesus, that came right at me. Fucking hell!
That almost hit me.
Yeah, like it was like they jumped like a ball shaped gap in the wall.
They both assumed each other was going to get in the way of it, and they're like, "I'm not doing that." Do you see how hard he hit that?
And of course, Keylor Navas is stuck to the ground there because he's not expecting the ball to go literally through the wall.
Twice in 2 goals, where he's stuck standing and being like, "What is everyone doing?"
And that was it. It was 2-1 then. I was like, how has this happened?
Yeah.
And then the Spurs DNA.
Well, I was thinking
brought from Mauricio Pochettino.
Because I was literally thinking, I was like, this, like, they're absolutely freaking out. Like, this is like Spurs this year. But I had forgotten, and then immediately the camera panned over to Poch looking super panicked, and I was like, oh, this looks familiar.
Well, you know what reminded me of?
What?
Battle of the Bridge. That
yeah, classic Spurs freak out.
That was the year when they should have beat Leicester for the league, if anybody who listens doesn't remember. And Chelsea had nothing to win or nothing to lose or gain. Now, Roy Keane would say they had something to lose, a football match. But that was a real shithouse team. That was like Fabregas, Hazard, Diego Costa, Ivanovic, like a real proper shithouse team. Not very good. I think they won the season before that. They won 14-15. This was 15-16. Yeah, they were off the pace a bit, so they're out of the contention. But Spurs came to Stamford Bridge and
panicked.
It was a good Chelsea team, but just that's how they played. They were fucking shithousing the whole the game out of it.
Them in,
And Spurs, I think, were maybe like, oh, what the fuck? Like, we're trying to win the league. What are you doing this for?
Yeah.
And getting wound up and putting in tackles. And Chelsea are like, well, we have nothing to lose. Let's wind them up. Let's continue winding them up and score goals and really fucking get in their heads. Whereas in this scenario where PSG were like, fuck, like, we're going to lose the game and start putting like that tackle that Gabe put in.
So stupid. In the middle of the pitch, she's going nowhere. Like, there's VAR.
An absolute meltdown.
Yeah.
I suppose the difference here is that City did something to gain. They had the same thing to gain as PSG did. So, all right, well, let's just relax and calm down here. And
I don't know if you saw after the red card when, like, the camera showed Neymar's reaction to it in slow motion of him putting his head in his hands, like, oh no, we're losing.
Yeah. Oh, a total meltdown, and then an implosion, really. Yeah. I mean, City kept their head. There was there where De Bruyne went in and stood on your man, and the entire PSG ran the
screaming.
And the boy was like, all right, come on, ref. Let's not do it. And he didn't no City player ran in there. Well, you know what, it'll be a yellow at best. And I think, if it had been red, I think City went, all right, you know what, we're in charge here. Let's not fucking, which is very on City, like.
Yeah. But
So
they
I'll
just
give them credit
saw
for
the extra, because even that stamp, like De Bruyne's on, it wasn't that bad. Like it was a scrape.
No.
But just like, do you see how far Neymar ran back to complain to the ref? Like, there's no way you even saw it.
Yeah, no, that's what reminded me of the Battle of the Bridge thing, was that kind of like desperation, like get him sent off as well. Like, you need to relax and concentrate and win the game.
The ref's not going to like that.
Yeah, and Di Maria, he was excellent second half. He was my man of the match. I mean, obviously didn't win, so more of a kind of a Republic of Ireland player of the match. That's Irish man of the match. But he was excellent in the first half, and in the second half, like this is my opinion. I think that they were trying to sit back and hit them on the break with Mbappe and Neymar. It wasn't really working because City are really good, and they were beating the press a bit in the first half as well. So it wasn't like they were unable to get a foothold in the game. So when they gave them the ball, they just couldn't get it back off them.
Yeah, when you're waiting for City to make a mistake, they're not going to. They're just going to pass it around, like, especially if they're winning. They're not going to fuck about.
But the only time they did get a chance was when Di Maria literally went and won the ball back and went by like 2 or 3 players and set Mbappe away. They only happened like 2 or 3 times, but like El Conejo, the rabbit, according to Jerry Armstrong. That's what he was called in Spain. He also called them glass ankles, I think, as well, which is maybe not so nice one. But he was unbelievable for them, and if it wasn't for them, they might have got the ball about their half in the second half at all. So, unbelievable stuff, really, to see City go through that. But
tough to tell who. I think City go through because like Idrissa Gana Gueye is a pretty good player to be missing for that next game. And I don't know, just I think City they've come so far now that I think it'd be mad to collapse now after all of that. Like, I think they've passed collapse stage.
Again, though, I would say if I was the PSG team watching the game in the conference room, as they all do together in their shirt and tie,
watching Timo Werner clips. Did you guys see this?
After watching the Timo Werner clips, and then they watched the City chances that they didn't create, that they were lucky. Like, City were lucky. They played well in the second half. Like, the 2 goals they got,
flukes.
That's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
You know, like, PSG have been quite unlucky, especially in the Bayern game. They should have been 6-0 up. They hit the post. In this game now, they were on top in the first half. They maybe should have scored a bit more themselves, but those 3 goals, like, this is the thing. When the first half ended, I was like, oh, okay, he's going to give it a good go here now, Pep.
Yeah.
But if it gets 60 minutes and there's still a goal down, he's going to have to bring on Aguero and Jesus, or one of them, or Sterling.
Yeah.
And he really didn't want to. And when they got those goals, like, yes, it worked. Like, it didn't work. You got really lucky. Your plan didn't work. You didn't create any chances. I mean, Bernardo Silva or De Bruyne or Foden is not Lionel Messi. It's never going to happen. Like, it would be hilarious if it was Chelsea and City in the final, 2 teams without a recognized striker.
New game.
Sorry, Timo. I mean, he's a friend of the show, but I couldn't resist. That would be just like a 0-0. That would definitely go to penalties, that game. Fucking hell.
Penalties and all the penalties missed.
You have Benzema and Mbappe who don't make it because, when the 2 teams out strike, it would ruin the game, change the whole idea of the game again. Like,
Could you imagine Werner stepping up to take a Champions League penalty, like in the penalty shootout in the final? Oh God, I wouldn't put him on it. I wouldn't do it to him.
I give him the first one because I think it gets.
I give him like the 8th one.
No, because then it's knockouts.
Yeah, we have to hope it doesn't get to 8.
Well, then you're already bet. If you're already like, okay, well, I'll put him at 8 because I hope you have to take one. Then you're already bet. Yeah. No, I personally think PSG will go through.
Oh yeah.
I think they beat Barcelona away. They beat Bayern away.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
And then they drew at home with. Again, you might say home advantage doesn't make any difference. It's whatever. And those were the first legs as well. Now I'm just remembering. But they haven't been great at home in the Champions League, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
And they have won away in big games. I do think that City, I just do not believe in this Pep's idea that they're not going to play a striker. I know he desperately wants to win this way, but I honestly think it's going to come back to bite them. I think PSG are going to get the goals, and it's going to be PSG and Madrid in the final.
I think it'll be Madrid and City in the final. Because, like, Chelsea and PSG is a weird final. You wouldn't have expected that.
That would be weird, yeah. Chelsea PSG would be weird. Because, I mean, that was the first time in 7 years that Chelsea were in a semi-final, apparently.
Yeah, it feels like forever, like.
Which is mad. And PSG obviously got the final last year, but haven't won it yet. So,
yeah.
Like, the two underdogs, PSG and Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's what the games become. But look, it was a good game, though. The City PSG game was a good game. And I think, do you see Grealish and Maddison were gushing over Neymar on Twitter?
Oh.
Saying is there a more enjoyable player to watch than Neymar? And then Maddison retweets like, yeah, man, he's fucking class or whatever. And meanwhile, Phil Foden, that fears going to start ahead of him in the Euros, is also playing. All right, lads, and he's younger than both of them. But,
yeah, that's weird. Yeah, if I was like a City or even a Chelsea player, I'd be like, all right, lads, would you not be rooting on your own boys here?
No, hell no, definitely not.
But they're definitely he's pals with loads of them, definitely.
Well, I don't think he was like, come on, PSG. I think he was just like, man, Neymar's really, really good. Really good to watch. But I just thought it was kind of like, I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, maybe we've been fooled by this ultra competitive era of players that, like, you shouldn't root for anybody. You should be wanting to play for Barcelona, Jack Grealish. Get your head out your arse.
We're Roy Keane.
Yeah, you should want to surpass Neymar, because, like, every time someone, like, you think of Benzema's, I think he's like 71 Champions League goals now. I think he's level with Raul. Like, still a million goals behind Messi and Ronaldo. I was like, yeah, whatever, Benzema. But, like, it took Raul a career to do that. It's taken Benzema a career to do that.
Yeah.
And we're just, like, not impressed by any of it anymore, because the records are so much higher. And players who are still playing. So when I see Maddison and Grealish, who are like, they might play in Champions League in games, but, like, they are just normal lads who are playing football, and like, oh man, watching Champions League, love it. It's like, or you think that they should be like, when we were saying Rubry and Robin, I was like, oh, they went on forever. They're still playing.
Both of them.
Rubry is playing for Fiorentina still at 38, and Robin is playing for, I think, a Dutch team, Groningen, or I fucked that up there now, but some other team I can't pronounce.
That's weird.
At 38. So, like, and that was that era of that, like, the 2010s of just, like, ultra competitive dudes who went on forever and ever.
Yeah.
Like, the Grealish and Madison are just like, oh yeah, Neymar's savage. It's like, you're the same age. Like, you should be kind of compete. It's like, well, maybe they shouldn't. Maybe we should just enjoy the game more. I don't know, but that was kind of funny. I saw that on Twitter. But yeah, that was the Champions League games. We have Europa League tonight, Will. Looking forward to that.
The best day of the week.
I mean, from a narrative perspective, it's great. For United, you got two castaways, two outcasts.
Yeah, especially, and one of them, the pinnacle of everything that was wrong with United for like 10 years of Chris Smalling at the back.
Yeah, poor Chris.
And then you also have the fucking Roma trying to avenge a result that none of the players were probably alive to watch.
Which was nice.
The fucking 7-1 in 2000, whatever. It's the culture thing of why do they care?
Yeah, the thing that, like, you'd imagine they wouldn't care about, but they evidently will be mentioning it when they beat United after the games. Like,
the fans definitely care. Did you see the videos of them singing about killing Manchester and stuff out on the streets?
Come
on,
I think they're more passionate people.
Yeah,
Italians.
Definitely.
But yeah, they got pretty mad over all these comments. He was asked after the Granada game, what do you think of the Roma game? What do you think about Roma? And we said, I don't know them, never seen them play. It's like, if he was trying to be disrespectful, he nailed it. But I don't think he was. I think that was like after Europa League game, and he probably had a game and 2 days after that.
Yeah, he's had 10 million games to manage, and this one is like a month away. He's not thinking about that. He's like, I'll watch them that week.
I'll watch it that week and try and, again, I don't think he's more of a tactical guy like Pep who's going to overthink it to the extremes. He's more kind of a, look, we know what we do well, let's just do that. But they've got very fucking annoyed over that. I saw the clips of them seeing the team off with like flares and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't the pandemic really bad?
Really bad.
Wasn't it really bad?
It must be good now. But
wasn't there like army trucks full of urns for the ashes of people who died in like Bergamo, wherever it was?
Anyway, cut that.
Maybe we're pandemic shaming. Is that a thing?
Oh man.
But yeah, they were out in force to see off their own team. They're going to be ready to wreak havoc against Manchester.
I've never seen a manager cause so much outrage accidentally as Ollie seems to do every week, just by talking normal. Never really does that. He's never like angry or anything, but he just always puts his foot in his mouth.
Oh well, even when he was trying to backtrack, he's like, "Yeah, I have some really prized possessions: a Totti jersey and a De Rossi jersey from the last time we played." Oh. I've mentioned 7-1, haven't I? Damn it. Like, he inadvertently was trying to be nice, and it's like he mentioned the 7-1, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, now they're mad.
I know. I love Roma. I took their best player ever's jersey after we hammered them 7-1 in their own stadium. It's a prized possession of mine. I hang it like a fucking stag's head that I've hunted.
Yeah, I mean, he is very much like a Michael Scott character. We talk about the other teams, like he's like they seem to be doing well all the time, but he just seems totally incompetent. But hey, look, his methods work, whatever they are. Oh yeah, that was to mention 7-1 in an apology about the other things that he said. So sorry.
The Roma fans like going to have his heads on pikes and everything. He's just going to be, what are they so angry about?
Yeah. Now that said, I don't know who they are, and I haven't watched them play either, Roma. So
I couldn't tell you.
Going well.
Yeah. Apart from the United lads that play for them, I couldn't tell you that any of the rest of the players really.
Edin Dzeko.
Oh, Dzeko, yeah, he's savage.
Yep. I mean, they beat Ajax and Ajax were decent, so I mean, going on that, you'd say. And look, they're in the semi-final. They're obviously better than most teams. So
yeah.
It should be a good game.
I don't have much faith in I just don't have much faith in any team that still has Chris Smalling at the back. Like, I watched him. I watched every game he played for his whole career for a while there. He is not who you want in a semi-final. Like,
yeah, who knows? Maybe he's improved. The other game then is Arsenal versus Villarreal. Another one for the narrative fans out
Excellent.
there. Unai Emery back to see Arsenal again. I don't think he is that hung up though, because in an interview they were asking Arteta, what you think. He's kind of Mr. Europa League. He's done it with Sevilla so many times. What's it like? He's like, no, he's pretty chill dude. I actually asked him before I took the job what Arsenal was like, which I was like, imagine you get sacked from a job. And then you get a phone call from some dude you know of, some lads from around town that you kind of seen out, like, but you don't really know who he is. Like, oh, well, man, I'm just applying for a job there in Deals. I wonder what it's like there. It's like, well, they just sacked me, actually. So they're pretty much dickheads, in my view. That's what I would be doing. Emery also was like, nah, I mean, pretty good club. Shy players, but a good club.
People come into the shop and they want my head on a stick. But yeah,
I mentioned one time where Dunn had better prices for them for like a whole week, and that did not go down well. Yeah, I just thought that was weird. It was like, you maybe ask like a former, like obviously the only former manager was Arsene Wenger, and he knows him, so maybe ask him too. But
well, you're not going to ask Wenger what Arsenal is like. You know what he's going to say? Oh, it's class.
Yeah, I guess he wanted the real view. Like, what's Arsenal today like?
Yeah.
But no, I think he'll definitely want to win. He won't want to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like on a purely sporting basis, he won't want to lose. But like, you get sacked from a team, and look, this happens all the time. That like players aren't playing well, the teams are kind of not going great, and they sack the manager because that's a good start.
Yeah.
So, but like at the same stage, you take that person like, oh, like You shouldn't you give me more time? I could have turned that around. Like, it wasn't my fault. You know that. So you just sacked me because that's what the fans wanted. So it's not about the players or the fans. It's like to the owners, like to knock them out. Say, there you go now. I knocked you out. Have some of that.
Do you think if Arsenal lose the semi-final, how does Arteta keep getting away with it? Like, they're in 10th.
I don't know. But I think in this circumstance, with the whole buying of the club, he'll definitely get away with this.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I think that was a story in it. What, my head? There's a story this week in my head. The owner of Spotify,
Daniel Elk,
Daniel Elk, he's very serious about buying Arsenal.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. He says he's a fan. But from a strictly business point of view, are Arsenal making money?
I'm sure they are, but I mean, not enough to spend billions on them or whatever.
Yeah, like it would cost billions because the Kroenke's like, no, we're not selling. We've no interest in selling, and it's our company, so no, it's not for sale. And he's like, no, I'm going to offer them I'm going to offer them something I can't refuse, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like money. They have lots of money. I don't know how you're going to do this.
I don't know as well if you've seen, because like obviously I make music as well, but like musicians and stuff are not best pleased with having the owner of the company who pays them all like 0.00005 cent being like, I'm so rich, I'm going to buy Arsenal, and I don't care if they say no. Like, it's so tone deaf to be like, after all the money I've made from all of these people, there's no way they can refuse me.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I welcome our new Spotify overlords. I don't want to anger the Spotify gods for our podcast sake, Will. I know. I mean, that's the thing. This is what we're saying about billionaires. Like, we just want a better billionaire who doesn't exploit people in a more obvious way. Like, well, this guy, I guess if you take musicians versus migrant workers, he's the better one. But like, I mean,
he's also paying fucking Joe Rogan, whatever it is, $300 million a year to
tell people to not get the vaccine. Yeah, this is the thing. This is what we're saying about, like, some fans want 50+1, better ownership, more responsible.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Other people want Daniel Alex to come in and buy Haaland.
Yeah.
That's what they want. So I think the Kroenkes have that on the table. So at the end of the season, if that's still going on, I think Arteta might get another year out of this situation. And look, if they're struggling for ownership, Arsenal not going to buy any players this summer.
That's always the case. Yeah, if there's clubs being sold, then you're going to milk all the money out of it before you sell it. Because why would you put money in?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know where this is going to end up for Arsenal. I don't know. I don't think the Kroenkes have to sell, so I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't think they have any intention of selling the thing that they don't put money in that just gives them money. Why would you sell that?
Yeah, and then if that happens, Arsenal won't buy players because you're like, even if there's a hint of uncertainty, you're not going to put X amount of million to a player and then sell it. You're going to say, right, we'll wait and see. We'll see this Daniel Alex fell off.
Yeah.
The summer will go by. Arsenal bought no players. Arteta will still be there. They'll make Saka captain, I suppose, and then so if they don't win, if they don't win this, it might be a long way anything else. Is my view of it.
Yeah,
for Arsenal. So fingers crossed, I suppose. But I think I don't want a United Arsenal final.
Hopefully,
I don't think.
Hopefully, one of us gets knocked out. Hopefully, United get knocked out because we already have Champions League. It's no problem. Arsenal could do with it. That'd be fine. I don't want to lose to Arsenal in the final. I'd hate that.
And that would be just the cherry on top of the shit Sunday of the season for Arsenal to lose to the old enemy.
Yeah.
While coming nowhere near Champions League.
The enemy who is also like fallen apart at the same rate for years, who've now got back on track.
Yeah. Fuck. So yeah, we got like that to look forward to tonight. Might have a few beers, watch that.
Yeah.
Celebrate the road plan of us getting back on track to our real lives. Will that came out today?
Pubs and haircuts, baby.
Pubs and haircuts, baby. That's what we want.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll enjoy the game tonight. Hopefully better times ahead for everybody.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Will? Anything else to touch on?
I suppose plug the socials. Haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, for any new fans, we should probably introduce ourselves as well.
Yeah.
I'm Carl. I'm the bad boy of the group.
I'm Will. I'm also the bad boy of the group.
Oh, very good, very good. The social media is at No Nonsense Pod on Instagram and at No Nonsense Pod 1 on Twitter. You'll find it if you give it a quick Google search. Yeah, I suppose we'll be back Tuesday to discuss the fallout of the Europa League and the
Prem and whatever.
and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the funny stories are starting to dry up this season. It seems like even the cast of characters that don't play are kind of wrapping it up.
Yeah, it's getting real serious, and so are we, and we hope to see this season out strong and head into the Euros on the same note. So
fingers crossed, one of us loses tonight.
Yeah, all right, sweet.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. Nonsense. Talking nonsense. Why should we accept somebody talking nonsense? Like, what would Claudia say? Why are you talking nonsense about us? Why are you talking rubbish?